Do. Come to the Ugly Money Podcast and tell your story. You can be a special invited guest by texting the number right here. Let's lock in your interview. Let's tell the world what you got going on. Over the past 90 days, we've gotten 30 million views on YouTube, 50 million views on social media sites. It's time for the world to know about you. So make sure you text this number so you can come on the Ugly Money Podcast. And you get to meet China too. It's that ugly money. You know, okay. Now that you say that name, Faison Love, who said on an interview that Katt Williams was overrated as a comic. Do you believe that Faison Love is overrated as a comic?
Faison like to fight.
Okay. Big Worm like to fight, man.
Yeah, he like to fight. He old body strong mother. Katt is way bigger when you see him. Just like Katt roll like the president.
Okay.
His security, 2 motorcycles, a Rolls Royce, a Mercedes. I mean, he has an entourage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've never seen him without that thing on him. I've never seen him do drugs either, for the record.
Dope.
I've never seen Katt do no. I don't care what I thought his eyes looked like. I don't care. I have never seen Katt do no drugs. I just want to say that for the record.
He's a small guy, though, I would imagine.
I'm a small guy. I was doing drugs.
Daddy.
He ain't never doing what he ain't never asked me. Shawty, you don't share? None of that.
I love how you move past that Faison Love question. He's like, hey, man, he like to fight.
I mean,
hey, he's a smart guy.
he ain't no Katt Williams.
There it is.
Huh?
I said, there it is.
Yeah, he not no Katt Williams.
Okay.
And even if Katt had a dry point, he's a comedy genius. He studies the game. He puts in his work.
Yep. Yeah. He came at Michael Blackson, too. Katt Williams don't like Michael Blackson too much.
That's my partner too. Mike always had money.
Yeah.
I always say he was the rich. I didn't know that Katt took him out of dashiki, but I did the shows with him in the dashiki.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember when he took it off and started dressing European. And Michael Blackson also told me that he said, man, Shawty, I went home and got booed. He was like, man, I went over there with this shit, man, to my motherfucker. The motherfuckers was like, I was imitating Africa.
I mean, he's an African that imitates Africa's accent.
But okay, but that ain't what he was presenting wasn't what it is over there.
Of course.
And so I guess they felt a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I think he aligned with them. And man, 15 years ago I went to Michael Blackson mansion. We partners now. We be all on the road.
Yeah.
But when he go home, he go home to
he
mansion. Yeah, mansion. I remember we was standing in his yard, his new house. It was really nice, and we was filming a movie. He was doing his own productions at his house. So we was filming a movie. He flew me out to his house.
Yeah.
In Delaware, and he say, shit, Shawty, I just got this house, nigga. I got this motherfucking Benz. He had another car. He said, now I can file bankruptcy. That was my first economic lesson.
Yeah.
I'm only about 20.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? I started at a tender age. But so I'm like, hey, that's that, you know, so he had that edge against him. He's making a lot of money right now, but his narrative. Like, the narrative. I don't like this. The comedians out here running around talking about all these women. I'm a married man. I've been with the same woman for the last 3 years, period. Can't nobody contest it. Come in the comments. Can I give you 10 grand?
There it is.
But I ain't touch you. What my name is?
There it is. Ain't no mystery in your history.
Ain't no mystery in my history.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that side. He on Shay Shay talking about all he talking about is him having a side girl. So what you trying to make trickle down to the youth? Who Who agenda is that? Is you gonna run around and say, I got a woman at home, but on the weekend I go to my side chick and she gonna be cool with it, but if she mess around, no. That's tearing our women apart. That's not cool. You motherfucker.
Let's move forward. During that interview, Katt really took some digs at Steve Harvey. From, like I said, we talked about, taking the whole storyline from Mr. Cooper. Katt even said that Steve Harvey stole his whole storyline, personal storyline, and that Steve Harvey was never homeless. He was making $3,000 a show with Mark Curry. It is said that he took his whole narrative of being homeless to become famous. Was Steve Harvey homeless? You remember seeing that?
I only met Steve Harvey one time in the stairwell. Y'all go in the link and see that video.
He wasn't homeless then?
I heard stories.
Yeah.
I did hear that, but that's a sympathy vote. But I can't speak on that. But I'm gonna say this. When Katt read off his past, his upbringing, I felt like he was reading mine.
Wow.
And when Charleston White read off his upbringing, I also felt like they was taking pages out of my book. But no, we are products of the environment that we was in. So we was the water boys.
I like that.
We was the water boys. We was the kids that was out there that was cutting school and selling dope or being in the trap or, learning a lot and soaking it in.
Yeah.
And so, it could have been a coincidence, but if what Katt Williams is saying is true about the plants.
He said they ain't never seen no sold out comedy show with Kevin Hart at these comedy clubs. Have you?
Me and Kevin Hart referring to. Okay, so Kevin Hart. First time I saw Kevin Hart, I was watching Comic View one day, and he was ripping.
Okay.
But we told you about the Comic View sets now.
Yeah.
They wasn't. That don't mean.
Yeah, don't mean
that don't mean you your Comic View set.
Yeah.
But he was ripping.
Okay.
And so I already told you about the editing and the crew. But I'm not saying that about Kevin. I'm not saying that about Kevin. But I can't remember seeing the rise.
Wow.
I saw him on Comic View, then I saw him in L.A. Bam. And he did Soul Plane.
Yeah, I remember Soul Plane.
And so what Katt is probably, what he is referring to is Kevin Hart had his deal before he got to L.A. In L.A. is a whole bunch of actors, there's a whole bunch of dancers, singers, and comedians trying to make it. And really studying the art because they're held up under walls, held up under such a microscope, and it was so hard for black people to get in that you had to make sure you were on point.
Yeah.
But the little southern slang talking, we ain't know y'all was over here doing all that.
Okay.
And we got famous off some videos and some world stars.
Yeah.
And we come over here and we want our role. What do you mean we gotta stand in line? What do you mean we don't talk right? But it's what the people want. And so, Katt whole thing is he feel like people have slots that they're not qualified for. And if you're not qualified for this slot, that means you were planted here. And he's just talking about talent levels. He's saying Steve Harvey should have been able to carry the load and headline the Kings of Comedy. Headline is a hard-ass spot. The best spot is second on a 4-man arena show. Third guy is gold, but he got to respect the headliner. If you're a comedian and your mission is to burn the headliner, you do not. You do not have. You ain't got the right. You don't have the right. You ain't got the right
mentality.
No, you ain't got the right diagram.
Okay.
Cause you can't. It got to be some type of rules left in the game. The Def Jam era of everybody falling all over the ground is gone. Comedy is so watered down. We had to work on these punchlines. Now, I love the internet comedians. I root it. I be like, y'all come to me, I teach y'all to stand up. I teach y'all punchlines and setting up stories. And you ain't just got to sit up there and talk until they chuckle and then you move on. Because it's killing the comedy game. Killing the comedy game. As a Negro, I used to get comedians paid in Atlanta. I have a one-nighter. I had a club paying me $1,500. I give a comedian $500. I give another comedian $250, and I take the rest. I had a Negro come in and undercut me who wasn't even a comedian, and these comedians start following the Negro and doing shows, the same shows I was paying them, all that money, they started doing it for $150 and $100, and that's the price of comedy in Atlanta. That's why y'all don't see me standing up around here. That's why I go hit the chitlin circuit and try my material, because they ain't gonna do nothing but steal it in the comedy club anyway. You sit there and see your whole joke in a skit on Instagram. I had to call a couple of people. And, so one of the people in question on Katt Williams' Shay Shay show has had to pay me for stealing one of my jokes.
Had to pay.
Had to pay me. He had to pay me. He had to pay me. And because he paid me, I will not mention his name because I gave him my word.
Okay. Hey, you got paid. Sure.
I got paid. He wrote the check.
Hey.
But when I saw the joke, I had did the same joke on Bone Crusher album. Same scenario.
Oh, wow.
I had already did it on Bone Crusher album. About the project windows. Your teeth look like project windows. Some of them up, some of them down. I look up on this nationally TV show.
Yeah.
And he is doing my joke verbatim. I tried to jump through the TV. I called everybody. I called all the managers. I called everybody to work around him. I called everybody. I say, man, call it. I get him on the phone because I consider this guy a friend. A real friend. And he had made it to a bigger plateau. I was like, man, I'm waiting him to call me to take me on tour. They was amazed with one time they seen me, I'm married, I love my wife, but my ex chick, they said, who is that? Y'all serious? Of course.
That right.
Y'all get married, I'm gonna pay for y'all honeymoon. But, I mean, he probably would have, but I as an amateur comedian,
that's kind of devastating to have somebody.
I gave him courage. Like, the comedians used to pick on him. I be like, man, don't let them do that. I'm like, man, next time one of them comedians mess with you, swing on them. Even if you hit them, they gonna know not to mess with you no more.
There it is.
He done swung on the Negro and took off running down the street. They ain't hit him no more.
Hey, they ain't hit him.
They ain't mess with him no more. They ain't mess with him no more.
What up? So you have a brand, you have a business, and you want to get the word out. In the last 90 days, we did over 30 million views on YouTube, over 50 million views on social media sites. Promote your business on the Ugly Money Podcast. Let me help you turn your business up. Make sure you text the number right here below. We'll schedule a call, and let's get it popping. Let's get Let's get it moving. Let's get that brand and that business out of here. Yeah, you can be an official sponsor of the Ugly Money Podcast. And China just left. See y'all in a minute. Text us.
And so I did about 2 weeks. I'm making posts and everything. And I said, you know what, man? I'm not going to chase you. I'm going to see you. And when I see you, you're going to write me a check.
There it is.
And I didn't see him for 2 years. I had done sent every message. I sent a bird with a note in it, everything. I done liked and unliked pictures. And, you know, he's large. He's large. And, you know, we was at a surprise party for Young Jock.
Okay.
And we said, surprise. And he like, hey. I'm like, Jock, you ain't know we was in here in this side room. He like, nah, I've been over there at the bar talking to Blase. And he said, I said, and he stopped when he realized what he said. I'm like, oh, who at the bar? He like, and I was already filming.
Mm-hmm.
So I give my boy Carter, you know, it's off dude in all the clips. It was like 16 of us in the room. We posse. It's a posse.
Okay.
So I get Carter the camera, I'm like, follow me. So I come around the corner. He like, hey, I'm like, nah. I'm like, man, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Man, Shawty, can we do it without the cameras? I told my boy to turn the camera off. He said, what I got? He said, what? Tell me, what's up, man?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I was trying to get in touch with you. I said, but, you know, you cash me out this certain amount, man, and you won't, I won't talk about you. You won't hear this. I might be violating. Mm-hmm. But I ain't.
You ain't say the name.
I'm not going to attach his name to it.
Yeah, we don't know who we talking about.
He is one of the major figures.
I'm thinking you talking about Richard Pryor.
Yeah, exactly. and so he said he called somebody. He said, I need you to get this amount and get this check to Shawty. And he gave me a number, and I called the check, the next number.
Yeah.
And dude instantly cashed me out.
There it is.
And so.
You got a ghostwriting check. That's solid business.
Yeah.
That's solid business.
I ain't selling the joke. No,
I mean, you got a ghostwriting check.
Yeah. And then we talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
Because we had been friends for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he told me he shared something with me, and I wish, you know, he would want to share my energy and have me around him a little bit so I could keep him in touch.
There it is.
But he said he disconnected. He made it. He got his money. He's not in touch and down there. And down and to know what's going on. Mm-hmm. He said that's why I couldn't get in touch with him.
Hey, man. At least he cut the check.
Yeah.
Speaking of out of touch, Katt Williams also talked about Steve Harvey's hairpiece. How did you feel when you found out about Steve Harvey, a.k.a. Steve Hightower's lace front, was a lace front the whole time? You know, that Steve Harvey lineup was a part of culture. I mean, I could see that being like if the Boosie fade wasn't really Boosie's.
Well, I have timeless, first of all.
Yeah.
For the 19. But I have 20 veneers.
There it is.
My teeth was doing the crip walk. If you can do anything to boost your confidence in this arena, to make you more presentable to your target group, then do that.
Yeah.
I wear ribbed turtlenecks, blazers, jeans, and hard bottom shoes, mostly. I'm sleek, but I'm on ugly money.
Hey.
And this is my target audience.
There it is.
So it matters which arena. TMP. Time and play.
Come on.
I forgot the question.
Nah, we were talking about Steve Harvey hairpiece.
Yeah, man, it was time for it. He couldn't. Hey, I bet you wouldn't been hosting Apollo with a cul-de-sac.
Hey, he made it iconic.
Yes.
Steve Harvey had the sharpest lineup in the world.
Yeah, I think the hairpiece just caught a stray. Yeah, it was some strays out there. But Katt Williams took Steve Harvey ass out. If Katt Williams is saying that's why he quit comedy, and that's the last time I really seen Katt Williams was coming at Steve, and Steve's like, "Who this little smidget?
Yeah.
What is a cat?" Because he said, "What's your name, Mill?" Y'all gotta look in the link at that video. Hey man, let's make that video hit 1 million. Steve Harvey, he hot. Y'all look at the link. Cause Ugly Money just put me on the major payroll.
Yeah, it is.
So listen, share this with your people.
Yeah, it is.
And send it, cause I'm telling the truth. Like I ain't got the cat money, so I'm only gonna tell the truth.
Daddy.
I'm for the people, by the people.
Is it true that all comedians eventually want to be movie stars?
Yes, damn right. What the end game? Chris Tucker inspired me when I saw him. Well, I saw him on Def Comedy Jam, but then he was in Friday, he was in Money Talks. And so yes, that is. Yeah, you want to be a movie star. I mean, we love stand-up. Stand-up is the base. And you should never stop. You should never stop. Y'all catch me on Chitlin Circuit Tour. It's going down.
But the end goal is to get in there.
End goal is to be a movie star. Yeah, the end goal here. Yeah, the end goal is to end up with. The end goal is to end up with 7 TV shows. Yeah, you talking about having a radio show number 1. The only person we trade places with is Steve Harvey and the Shark.
Yes, sir.
What a Louisville.
Well, speaking of leveling up and being in that Hollywood environment, let's talk about Diddy.
Who?
Diddy. Who has been in the news ever since last year. Do you believe that Diddy is really zesty, or is he really out here taking, male holes in exchange to be put on?
Okay. Are we talking about public perspective?
No, you talking to Shawty. You can always say next question.
Okay. Personally, I'm only going to talk about my personal experience with Diddy. I'm going to talk about my personal experience with Diddy. I was in the presence of Diddy 2 times. I didn't do Def. Where he at? I didn't do the TV show he had, Bad Boys of Comedy. Mm-hmm. And the reason I didn't do Bad Boys of Comedy is because of a gatekeeper.
Oh, wow.
They kept me off all of those productions. From Def Comedy Jam to Bad Boys of Comedy. This dude would go around and look at every comic in the country. And he had heavy decisions and influence. And I even had Nick call him, and Nick called him on my behalf. When they was, I think he was picking the comics for Comic View, because their Comic View always switch up. And I think they was doing a new one with Kevin Hart. And he told Nick, if he's still doing what my name is, I don't want him. See, they didn't want that dangerous marketing tool out there. They tried to smother that Shawty what my name is, because they know they weren't going to forget my name. Yeah, I'm still here. You see this crown?
Still here.
And so, I confronted him too. I confronted him because I'm like the dude. I was the dude in Atlanta. I'm the hot comedian. I'm on fire. And they not putting me on nothing. And it just, now, I'm gonna tell you, it just took me somewhere. And like I said, I started at a very young age. And I came straight off the street. So it took me a second to get like corporate or even used to being around people. But I was raw. I was funny. And they couldn't deny me because the people yelled my name so loud. And so I used to win all the contests. Same thing, I used to whoop their ass. Everybody, they know it. If Shawty was on the contest, you might well hang it up because I was winning. So this particular contest was the Bud Light Def Comedy Jam contest. The winner opened up for the Def Comedy Jam concert in Atlanta at the Civic Center for the tour. And they gave us a Budweiser leather jacket. It said Def Comedy Jam Bud Light.
Hard.
And I did the show. I had the paperwork. I showed up on the side of the stage. I opened up the show in front of my city, 5,000 people. It was dope. But I didn't have handlers, which I look back, I should have had handlers making those connections.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't find this out until about 2 years ago. This is a long time ago. And I wonder why these certain guys, and this could have been the gatekeepers. I could have been right there at the gate with this. So I ripped the stage, and I was on all of it. I was breaking the ground for Southern comedians. Bruce and DC Curry, they had all broke on Comic View. So they was getting a lot of attention to Atlanta, but I was there raw, edgy, trap.
Yep.
To what comedy has came to now. I always been ahead of my time. So after the concert, I wait till after the concert. I had this green Cadillac, candy green, white piping seats. I had the wheels on it. So I come out the theater. I had them pull my Cadillac up to where everybody be pulling out at and walking out. I had them pull my Cadillac and they was sitting up there clean. When I come out the theater, I get in my Cadillac and zoom off.
Yes, sir.
Where everybody see me in my Cadillac. The production, I didn't know that Walter Latham was doing the Def Jam tour. And I was their prize that night. And they had a big after party. And Walter or Stan or I never got to meet with them. I didn't have any direction to go to this after party, but they were pissed.
Oh, wow.
That their Bud Light winner, who was probably their big-ass sponsor, and they gave me this big-ass check on the stage in front of my city.
Yeah.
Years later, I got the story that how dare he come in, perform, don't even come to our after party, jump in a green Cadillac and wisp off. And at the point when they told me that story, I can look back at me coming down, feeling myself because I had just did a historical thing. And I had, leveled all the way up, and I was presenting excellence, and I was the best comedian in my city. And I just looked back, and I could just see the crowd that I was walking with was the gatekeepers.
Oh.
And I could see myself just fondling off and jumping in the Cadillac.
God damn.
And they looking like, what the hell is that little dumb motherfucker doing?
That green Cadillac.
The green Cadillac. Everybody remember that green short dog?
So you're an artist, an actor, an activist, whatever you do, come to the Ugly Money Podcast and tell your story. You can be a special invited guest by texting the number right here. Let's lock in your interview. Let's tell the world what you got going on. Over the past 90 days, we've gotten 30 million views on YouTube, 50 million views on social media sites. It's time for the world to know about you. So make sure you text this number so you can come on the Ugly Money Podcast. And you get to meet China too. It's that ugly money. Let's talk about great gatekeepers a little more. Taraji P. Henson has been getting paid as the same as a white girl that just came on the scene. You know, I mean, she's a legend, and she gets the same amount of money as, you know, someone of a different race that just started. Is that gatekeepers?
Okay. Young talent. Know your worth. How you start off is how you gonna end up. It's good to do it and to get your foot in the door. But when you have showed them what you got to up your paper. You got to let these folks know, listen, we got something. Let's eat. The way any entrepreneur is gonna employ people, the better you pay them, the better employee. The happier the employee, the better the product. Mm-hmm. Don't be greedy like these Hollywood studios. That's why they just had the strike. But then she's paranoid because you got Susan Miss No Name who gonna go to the Weinstein party when he say he want to fondle her nipples in front of the whole agency and nobody says nothing. Because that's when you look around and realize that all these motherfuckers is them. And I am the pawn. And so what I interpreted Katt was saying was, oh, they had plans for me. But that wasn't in my agenda. So y'all take these 50,000 4 times and stuff them where you're trying to put them.
There it is.
But that was the interpretation.
Man, healing energies to Taraji, man. Taraji, get your money on, baby.
Yeah,
get your
man,
coins.
get your money, Taraji. After Cookie, she supposed to pull back. She supposed to pull back half season on Cookie. Like, I ain't giving y'all no more of this pie until y'all goddamn up my pay and make it known publicly that this is my motherfucking goddamn price. Because let me tell you something. When they put Chris Tucker was the $20 million guy, people was giving it to him because it's what he put in the atmosphere. I don't charge number 10,000, y'all.
Hey, put it in there.
Call Shawty with my name is. I ain't coming to Legend. You want to come to Legend to come to your town? Shawty booking. Without an S. If it bounce back, put an S on it.
Let's move forward, man. Let's move forward. We're dispelling myths. Is it true the reason that Earthquake, the comedy legend Earthquake, doesn't get sitcom or movie roles is because he can't read?
Earthquake, one of my mentors. Earthquake, one of the greatest stand-up comedians to ever grace the earth. You talking about ripping and funny? I studied this guy. I hosted at his club. So I would host, so Earthquake hosted open mic night he called comedians comedy hostages because it's 31 open micers trying to get on this list, and only about 8 of them getting up. But he will have a host before he get there because he's not gonna get there at 8 when the show starts.
All right.
He gonna get there about 9:30. And when he grabbed the mic, he doing 45 minutes to an hour off the rip before he called the next comedian. So you want to get in before. I remember the first time Earthquake called me. He was like, "Who is this? What?" He was like, "Y'all give it up for this next comedian. Give it up for Shawty." And this ain't got nothing to do with what you just asked me. Wow.
I got you.
No.
I am good. You good, bro. You good. You good.
No, man. Hey, we gotta cut that right there. Because no. But everybody, like, he from Washington.
Yes, sir.
So he don't expect no Shawty in, before 2000, So I was glad, and I was like, Shawty.
Yeah.
When I got to the stage, and then when I came out stage, he was like, "Boy, you kind of funny." He was like, I had did a joke about the weed. You smoke some weed so good, you want nobody with you, you still passing it. And then
good weed.
and he came back with his old drug dog. But I remember he did leave Atlanta and go to Hollywood. He owned the comedy club here. He owned the comedy club. And so, he did go out there with a deal. But he had put in work here. Yes, and he was selling out shows. He was selling a comedy club out, and he was the host and owner. And that's why I started one of the greatest stages. I started at 559 with Bruce. And Bruce and Earthquake, they weren't like, it was the city was divided.
Okay.
But Earthquake had the comedy club, and Bruce had all of these clubs. And he had like me, Small Fry, Tyler Craig, Dirty South, and we was hilarious. And then Earthquake had all the comedians to go to the comedy club. And but we all meshed together. And Earthquake he made you pay your dues.
Respect.
He made sure that you was gonna do your thing. Now, I wasn't in LA when he got the show, but Earthquake used to drink. So I just hear like he was out there. Well, I heard him. He said, he was like, I got my own show. And he was like, I got the motherfucking script. And I was like, I need to get me a drink. Y'all ain't got no Hennessy.
Yeah.
So he has joked about it. That's why they train so hard in Hollywood. Because so much is expected. And when you get that role after you done perform, after you done audition, and you 201 comedian to audition for one role,
wow,
you know the stakes. And you know what you up against before you go in. But when those Southern comedians come from out here, and we go over there, we getting off the plane and going to stand in line with all these folks who've been practicing all night and all week, and we just got outside and read off a copy, and we gonna look at them in line.
Facts.
And so that's why you see that the preparation for the transition has not been shown the appropriate attention.
There it is. How accurate, once again, we're dispelling myths. How accurate is it that Katt said, when Katt Williams said that Ricky Smiley wanted to swap their roles on Friday After Next?
I'm gonna give you my take on the scenario.
Okay.
Katt's whole thing with that is Katt Williams thinks, first of all, he said Ricky Smiley was probably Shawty walking around with your face covered up and you trying to get a breakout role. Mm-hmm. I wasn't there. I know 20 comedians read for Money Mike.
20?
20.
Wow.
201 comedians read. So I think just a story that Ricky probably been telling over the years amongst crowds, amongst friends, on radio shows, but this viral age is something else. He said, I supposed to be Money Mike. Because they sent you the sides and you went out there and read for it. You had a possibility on being Money Mike. But I'm not sure his exact verbiage because it boils down to his exact rhetoric. If he said I had the role, and I heard his response, and I heard Gary Abdul, Atlanta Comedy Day, I heard his response. And Ricky didn't want no smoke. Ricky don't want no smoke with Katt. Don't nobody want no smoke with Katt.
I don't think
for real.
I don't think so.
Faison, I know Faison probably bucking just because I know all these cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Ricky don't want no smoke. He wanted to go away. But I bet you when the mics cut off, Ricky cussing his butt off. He cussing the church down. That motherfucker Katt is a little better stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that don't want to smoke with Katt Williams, brother. I remember Charles Barkley savagely roasted Shaq and threatened him with Katt Williams. It was like, don't make me call Katt Williams on your ass.
Yeah.
Like,
if you look at Wildin' Out, when Katt Williams was on Wildin' Out, he would walk out slow. He would kick his legs up and he would survey the crowd. And then he'll key in on his target. And, and walk back to the pool, to the pit.
Katt Williams has called Kevin Hart out countless times. I've seen a clip of him saying we can set up a basketball court, 2 microphones to have a rap battle, a boxing ring, or we could do comedy. Like, do you believe that Kevin Hart is scared of Katt Williams, like Katt claims?
Unless it's 2 sides. Well, damn. It must be 2 sides. And unfortunately, it's not.
Okay.
If we're talking about the better stand-up, always take the real, a more rugged road. When you got it, you got it. And it comes off natural. I love Kevin Hart to death. He ain't put me on none of his stuff either. But I think that Katt Williams is the more hilarious comedian. I think that Katt Williams, I worked with him, man. I seen him.
Yeah.
On that show, when Katt Williams had the return of Katt Williams in New Mexico, when he didn't show up, he showed up 4 hours late. That's the only time I saw Katt Williams off, when he showed up 4 hours late. I hosted, it was the return of Katt Williams, and he showed up 4 hours late. But I thought it was some crazy stuff. But Katt Williams came through the front gates. I started hosting. I was up there hosting for about an hour.
Wow.
And I'm like, when I'm gonna call somebody to the stage? Ezel, manager didn't come. He done sent a tour bus from North Carolina. And he got Ezell money. Ezell told me he ain't going on stage. The promoter finally get Ezell on stage after I've been up there an hour and Ezell bombed. Boo! Rest in peace. Booed him. In less than 10 minutes. Katt ain't showed up. Katt was supposed to host. I had to start hosting. Katt was supposed to host. I was going to go last. It was the return of Katt Williams in New Mexico. And
what up? So you have a brand, you have a business, and you want to get the word out. In the last 90 days, we did over 30 million views on YouTube, over 50 million views on social media sites. Promote your business on the Ugly Money Podcast. Let me help you turn your business up. Make sure you text the number right here below. We'll schedule a call, and let's get it popping. Let's get it moving. Let's get that brand and that business out of here. Yeah, you can be an official sponsor of the Ugly Money Podcast. And China just left. See y'all in a minute. Text us.
so they waiting on Katt. So I had to start. They played the band as long as they could. Beautiful band. And then I started hosting. And then I did like an hour. And then Ezell come up and bomb, and I got to go back up. I'm doing Soul Train line. I'm giving away. I'm running, and Katt not showing up. And then a whole bus full of sheriffs pull up. But earlier that day, Katt had been in New Mexico for about a week. I think they rented him a house. He had them rent him a whole house. So he had been in New Mexico for about a week, right? Then it was the return of Katt Williams. So I don't know what was going on with him and his agent. But his agent stepped in and tried to put a cease and desist on the show. So I guess what Katt was trying to break away from them because they had done tore him down. And he had started hanging with Suge. I figured that was for protection.
Yeah.
And then when you are at that door and you don't think you ready to make it, and then they start coming at you with all this different business, which I'm just going off what he said and my perspective from how I seen my partner come back, at the return. He did come 4 hours late, but the sheriffs was there, but they was there to serve him.
Wow.
But at about 2.5 hours, the crowd was like, nigga, people had flew everywhere. Samuel Jackson was there. It was packed. And they was like, we ain't leaving until we see Katt.
There it is.
And I went so long till I had to come off the stage. And then at some point you just heard the crowd erupt from like the rafters, like up, like you walk down into the stadium and you could see, then you seen the spotlight going everywhere, and then you just saw this little motherfucker running down the damn aisle. Katt done came in the front door. Katt came in the front door. And, he ain't been on stage in a while, I guess, but I worked with him. But the show hadn't sold all the tickets earlier that day. And this is when I realized greatness. The show had sold all the tickets. Katt manager definitely wants a part of this show and definitely had a problem with being cut out. So they worked that out. So now they had to get Katt like $25,000 extra. But I have booked Katt. Like I told you, but I have booked Katt. I started booking Katt at $10,000.
Wow.
In Chicago. I know the last show I broke her, and the last few shows I tried to broke her, and at least 4 or 5 years ago, if not more, before pandemic, it was a hard. What number you think?
50,000?
300. $300,000. That boy is getting paid.
Damn.
That's what he's charging Negroes. Imagine when he bringing when he collecting the dough. And so, but the show hadn't sold. And when they gave him that money, Katt Williams did a radio drop that was so cold, he was calm. He said, I don't know what you guys, and I can't remember verbatim, but he talked about all the people he talked about on Shay Shay.
Yeah.
And told them that they're coming to see one of the greatest shows and the return of the realest. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what happened between then and there, but that was the only time I saw him off. And that's when our relationship, like, and I had this little GoPro cam, I remember.
Okay.
So I had just got it. So I'm filming everything. I'm getting all this footage. Mm-hmm. And when Katt came in, he had on a whole goddamn fox around his neck with no shirt on and some beads. I ain't know he got dressed at his grandmama's house. Excuse me. I don't want no smoke. But like it was an outfit. But maybe he's coming out. We are entertainers. I'm gonna fuck him up with this motherfucking fox. This a real motherfucking fox, bitch. No, bitch. No, not the jacket, bitch. A real fox, bitch. Pimpin'. I know, you know. And so, when he wrote the script for the radio commercial, and then hit maximum ticket sales, that's not even on the stage, but that's the writer that he keeps referring to. He wrote one of the best teasing commercials. See, the thing is, the tease, where he went out and teased all this stuff. Now he's finna sell the tour.
Yeah.
Which was genius. Dang, marketing. Dang, then he ain't gotta go spend money at the radio station now.
Nope.
He ain't gotta make a.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 14 million views in 48 hours. Yeah. That's history. And I told Jock, I said, this is one of those moments in history, Jock. This goes right along with when you came out that morning, broke the internet with your hairdo.
Yeah.
This goes right along when Kim Kardashian took the infamous picture with the hourglass thing.
Come on.
This goes right along with the morning we woke up and Drake had dropped a diss track on Meek Mill.
Come on.
This goes right along with all of those iconic moments in our culture.
Yeah.
Katt has set the bar for 2024, baby, and I'm all with it.
Facts.
I'm with it. And nobody should be disrespected. It shouldn't come to blows. But Katt Williams is fighting for equality, just like I bust that wall through for the Southern comedians, and now the South run wilding out. That's the same way Katt is busting through these walls, and it might not move certain people from picking who they want and really get back to the talent level, but I think the whole Frank Sinatra effect is out the window.
Come on.
Frank Sinatra had ploys with it. That's what he's representing. He's representing the integrity of the game. The integrity of the game is gone.
Yeah.
These folks just talk until somebody laugh. They're not constructing jokes.
Do you think it's true that a black man, to be successful in Hollywood, has to put on a dress?
Oh, man. I always said, I ain't gonna make it big as certain people. I was like, I ain't gonna be big as such and such. I'm not gonna be that big because I'm not. I can't. I had somebody tell me today, senior position. Because we debated on the radio, Young Jock in the Streets Morning Takeover. We talked about it. But somebody seen my position said, asked me that I think it was Illuminati. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think there are gatekeepers. They had these little clone Illuminati groups. And you got one he said Weinstein asked, but I said I think there's a gatekeepers, and he said, well, everybody had somebody to put them in position. Mm-hmm. I was put in position, and they was like, I might be this, but I put people in position, but it's no secret society. Mm-hmm. I said, I know ain't no secret society, cause if it was secret, we're gonna leave that right there.
There it is. Chappelle in the business. So after about a shot of Dave Chappelle out about 3 times, his manager came over and said, "Hey man, yeah, if you say Dave Chappelle name one more time, we're gonna charge you." Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I said, all right, cool.
It's like getting
I said, yeah, right. I said, cool, no problem. I was excited, you know what I'm saying? And after the show, we good? Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, fuck my story. Let's go. Well, shit, I'll tell my story, goddammit. But I will say this: at the end of the the fight night, as Dave's walking out, he stopped by the ring. He signaled to me, and I walked down. I'm thinking he gonna cuss me out for saying his name too much. Mm. He says, "You're a natural." And I was like, "I'm a natural." I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, right? But I stand here today. I guess I was. Goddamn. Yeah. Dave Chappelle told me I was a natural, and I was just like, I never processed. I'm like, I don't think he think I'm not a comedian, nigga. I don't be trying to be funny, but
because he inserted himself in your story.
There it is.
And that makes him bigger than life.
Come on. That's hard.
Because you're telling me that right now. And he talks about the same effect in his new stand-up,
yeah,
which I think is great, and I think it kind of got overshadowed by this whole Katt Williams thing. Mm-hmm. But it was funny. He said, "You think I'm gonna talk about the LGBT community? No, we're gonna talk about the handicap." He said, "You know somebody in handicap back there in the wheelchair, because that's where they put him at." Talking about, and it was funny, and I thought we couldn't mess with the special needs.
Yeah,
because I got special needs. Joe, he inspired me to bring mine back. Now, he did. Because Dave Chappelle is a martyr. He's busting that wall open so we can have freedom of speech. He's doing these jokes. He's keeping the playing field open to where they're trying to close us into.
Yeah, they try to censor the hell out y'all.
Yeah, cause I got where I be like, I be like, oh man, I be like, I'm special needs.
Yeah.
I don't think you say the R word. I'm special needs.
Yeah.
All y'all special needs too. Everybody hold y'all hand up. Break your wrist and put it on your chest.
Yeah, it is.
I did that on Comic View. But
yeah,
I was like, I'll bring that back. But let's get to the business. Let's talk about my boy.
Yeah, man. So during this interview, Katt Williams makes the statement that him and Ludacris were at an Illuminati meeting, and that only one of them could wear the pointy sideburns, and that one person was going to get 20 movies with $200 million, 20 movies at $10 million a piece, and it ended up not being Katt Williams. Why do you think Katt had said that Ludacris was in the Illuminati? And Luda did not confirm nor deny. No,
nobody has denied anything Katt has said, but I haven't seen anybody deny it. Said, oh yeah, but they got the side-by-side joke. So he got big receipts for that.
Yeah.
And I think Katt was ready for that one. That's a no-brainer. And nobody else, I mean, Luda has helped me tremendously.
For sure.
I have benefited off Luda's existence.
Hey.
First, Luda was a radio personality in Atlanta. One of the hottest, him and Poon Daddy, Chris Love and Poon Daddy show. Mm-hmm. And I'm the man. I'm the man in Atlanta. Mm. I'm strong. So my partner went and bought the comedy club from the white guy, from Gary Abdul, who owned Atlanta Comedy Theater now. He owned Uptown. Him and Earthquake owned Uptown before.
Oh, wow.
And they fell out. And the club split. Earthquake went to L.A. And got his sitcom. And Gary ran the club, and then his partners, who own the Uptown Comedy Club now, Bridge, they couldn't get along. So when you bringing people into your company, they'll vote your ass out if So you had to watch these splits. But what I was talking about?
No, we're talking about Ludacris.
We talking about Ludacris. So I tell my partner when he buy the comedy club, hey man, go spend some money at the radio station and get me on there every Tuesday on Chris and Poon's show.
Okay.
And then we'll get one of them to host at the comedy club with me as a radio personality, and the whole city will hear me right before the comedy night, and I leave the radio station, go to the comedy club, bring the city with me. So we went and did that. So Luda had just made I Want to Lick You From Your Head to Your Toe, move to the edge of the floor.
Yeah.
So we
So you're an artist, an actor, an activist, whatever you do. Come to the Ugly Money Podcast and tell your story. You can be a special invited guest by texting the number right here. Let's lock in your interview. Let's tell the world what you got going on. Over the past 90 days, we've gotten 30 million views on YouTube, 50 million views on social media sites. It's time for the world to know about you. So make sure you text this number so you can come on the Ugly Money Podcast. And you get to meet China too. It's that ugly money.
So Lou like, boy, you funny as hell, Shawty. He like, man, nigga, I want you to come every Tuesday. So I was coming every single Tuesday. Then when he was getting ready to leave, he told him, I want Shawty to stay on Tuesdays. And then he put me on his second album, Chicken and Beer.
Yeah.
So I'm the one on Chicken and Beer to my shake, because that's where them real niggas at. I'm the one doing the shake. And then I also hosted the Chicken and Beer tour. I might have been on country. I did the second album. Then I did the Chicken and Beer tour.
Wow.
We went everywhere from Tupelo, Mississippi to Los Angeles. I remember 2 Chainz being Titty Boy and them being Ludacris hype men.
Yeah.
I remember we was behind the club, behind Alex Club, downtown, Midtown. I guess their offices was right there. I met them right there to go out one night. It wasn't Ludacris, but it was like Shaka and Big Jeff and 2 Chainz and Dollar. And 2 Chainz was mentioning the type of rap that he wanted to do and what his style was. And I heard Jeff say, man, yo, we ain't putting nothing like that. We ain't putting nothing out on DTP like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so obviously they weren't feeling 2 Chainz rap style, which it did blow up, but they had a different persona over there. I have mentors over there. Shaka's been real good. Jeff been real cool. Luda's been cool. But when he said that, I'm like, dang, how the hell? First of all, I didn't put the chops together.
Yeah.
I never put that together, but that's when we was breaking out. I remember being at a big Ludacris party, and I had my white mink coat on. So I had my white mink coat on, and I'm in that It was right before I went to Wildin' Out, and I saw Katt. No, it was probably about 2 years before I went to Wildin' Out. So this had to be like 2004. So Katt saw me in a fur coat with my jewels and rocking and everything. He was like, boy, you come to LA, you'll kill him, Shawty. That's what he told me. He's like, boy, you come to LA, you'll kill him. That's when it was just him and Leno. But obviously, him and Luda had some type of relationship because he was not an Atlanta invite.
Yeah.
He was a special guest invite.
Come on.
So I don't know how much they was hanging or how much, but I did not see that straight coming. Nobody has ever came at Luda. Luda's name has not really been tainted. Even when Shaka went through what Shaka went through, they did not drag Luda into that.
For sure.
But for Katt to come like that, and then that was one of the most severe stabs because he brought the man's wife into it. Now, I got a beautiful wife. I love my wife. I've dated a lot of women. All women have some type of insecurities. And for Katt to hit what he hit, but I saw a chart where all the 7 people he talked about, all of them look like they got that package.
Yeah.
I would have never associated Luda with the Illuminati. But his response for me was not giving, this didn't happen. And I mean, both of my homeboys,
Yeah.
that's, if I had to be a referee, that's what I would say.
Oh, boy. There it is. Ah, man, I think we got out of this interview
Hey
pretty
man,
safe.
between you know, between Charleston White and Katt Williams, they all say we look alike. I'm gonna have to go get security.
Man, listen.
They gonna think I'm one of them.
I think Katt took a page out of Charleston White's handbook.
I think so.
I think Katt Williams took a little something out of Rat
I'm sure he
Williams.
studied Rat Williams. I'm sure he studied. I'm sure he did his homework, because Charleston White was the most talked about man
For sure.
on the internet
For sure.
before 48 hours and count ago.
For sure.
But that's how a real king stepped down off his throne and addressed the people.
Yeah, he did that.
For the people, by the people. When you the people's champ, you're going to always have a lane. And if you notice, Shawty always had his own lane.
Yep.
Katt always had his own lane, because God will provide everything that we need. So anything that come against will be rebuked. Anything taking a loss will be replaced plus. And I have to take my hat off to Katt, because I consider myself a real talent. I take it serious. I believe that what don't kill you make you stronger. And if you gotta go to the rocky side of the mountain to get up there, it makes you the stronger competitor. Only time will tell who the real and who the fake. And I have to put myself with Katt, because I got somebody out here imitating my whole, I got a whole actor Shawty out here, walk around looking goofy, disrespecting our queens and stealing jokes.
We're gonna leave that one alone. Hey man, before we get out of here, man, you gotta let them know what you got coming up. We're gonna be on the lookout for, where to follow you at, all the above.
Hey man, it's on and popping. Y'all follow me on all social platforms at Shawty the Comedian. I'm finna run this Chitlin Circuit tour. I'm on a nationally syndicated morning show, Young Jock in the Streets Morning Takeover. We lit every morning, we lit. I go to work at 6 o'clock every morning. We punch it up. Like I said, the only person we trade places with syndication-wise is Steve Harvey.
Bomb drop.
Everybody else, man, stop trying. Stop trying, dog. Hey, man. Hi.
Let them
Shout
know
out
what.
to my beautiful white Jasmine.
Hey man, let them know where to follow you at before you get out of here,
Follow
bro.
me at all social platforms at Shawty the Comedian. Hey, man, this is how I pay the rent right here. Y'all go on Amazon and get my book, Purse First, Ass Last, The Unorthodox Guide to Financial Freedom. The reason I'm still alive, 'cause I got the dope boy effect. I made myself the set, and I go sell myself every day.
That's hard. Hey man, you can follow me at Ugly Money Nietzsche. This episode being brought to you by
Shawty! What name of this good ass
it's been an epic one. Hey, that's
Shoe Crazy.
That's that Shoe
I
Crazy.
ain't write me a check, Shoe Crazy. I'm been started back drinking. I ain't pitched nothing yet.
Shoe Crazy Wine Experience, and of course 3 young queens. Remember, the bigger the dream, the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff. This has been the Ugly Money Podcast with Shawty.
A comedian.
Another one.